You know, one of the things I used to always remember my mother saying was, I can be broke by myself. Now, when she said that, I used to think, oh, she's just joking. She's just trying to justify, why she was single at the time. But as I got older, I understood what she was saying. Now, before you even think about it, my mother was not a gold digger. What she was really trying to say was, the person you are with can either be your biggest asset or they can be your biggest liability. Hi, I'm Nicole, one of the Well Twins, and if you don't know who we are, please check the link below in the description after this video. So in this video, I'm not going to only give you 3 reasons why it may be better for you to stay single rather than be in a relationship that could be detrimental to your financial future. I'm also going to share with you 3 ways that you can find the right person that you can build wealth with, and also maybe the person that could help you reach financial independence. So if that sounds good to you, let's get started. Now, the first reason why it might be better for you to be broke by yourself rather than be in a relationship with someone that's going to keep you stuck is because the wrong relationship can actually bankrupt you. I know a few people who have co-signed for their significant other. Now, I am not a fan of co-signing for anyone, and that's because no matter how much you love the person, if a relationship goes sideways and they leave or you guys decide to split up, you are responsible for that debt no matter what. If they do not pay their bill, the debt falls on you. So if you love this person now, you got to think ahead. What can happen? Can I really trust this person to always be in a position to pay this loan? If they needed someone to co-sign, most likely they had some issues in the past. So how likely are it that they might not need that help in the future? Especially when you're in a relationship that's not that strong. So do yourself a favor. There's 2 things you can do to not be in that situation. You have to be strong enough for yourself and be rational enough to say no when someone decides to ask you to co-sign. It has nothing to do about love. It's about the future and protecting yourself. If you don't believe you're strong enough to say no, then do yourself a favor, make sure that's not an issue before you decide to get serious with someone in the first place. The second reason why, if you care about your financial future, you should avoid getting into detrimental relationships is because you are a reflection of the people you spend the most time with. Now, many people use this example of being a reflection of the 5 people you spend the most time with to talk about the friends you surround yourself with. But the person you're going to be spending the most time with outside of yourself is your significant other. So if your significant other is not on the same page as you financially or even thinking about what's the right thing to do to build wealth, that is going to affect you. You have to understand, if you're spending time with a person who's not focused on their future and they only want to play all the time or have fun or just disregard responsibilities that are going to lead to being an adult, the mindset that they have will start seeping into your mind. Be careful who you let into your circle, and especially the person that you're spending the most time with, which is your significant other, so protect yourself. Now, say you want to get married and you get married. Marriage is a great way to build wealth and to speed up the process of building wealth. However, if you and your significant other are not on the same page financially, it will cause lots of troubles in your relationship. Maybe you guys don't speak about anything when it comes to finances, except when it comes to putting on more debt. Let's buy a house, let's buy a car. All those things are when you talk about collecting debt. But if you're not having conversations about how to save money, how to invest money, that's an issue. Also, if you're just having conversations, but you're not backing it up with any type of action after you have those conversations, you will be in the same place as you were before that conversation as you're now after that conversation. An idea is just an idea. You have to put some action behind it. Now, when I say you're not on the same page, it can break a marriage. That's because around 50% of people who get married actually get divorced. Now, even though it's not the number 1 reason they get divorced, one of the top 5 reasons people get divorced is because of financial differences and the difficulties that they have because they're arguing about money. If you care about building wealth, marriage is a great option. But if you particularly care about protecting your wealth, make sure you don't get divorced. So if you don't want to get divorced, have the best chance by before getting married, understand if you guys are on the same page financially. And if you're not there and you already are married, Get to the same page as quickly as possible, because ask anybody who's gotten divorced, they will tell you the easiest way to lose half your wealth is to get divorced. Divorce is expensive. Now that I've given you 3 reasons why you should be careful who you date and who you marry, I think it's now time for me to give you 3 ways to find the right person that you can build a great financial future with. Now, I've been married for over 10 years, and with that, I do believe I can provide some useful insight for anyone looking to find the right person you can build a financial future with. Now, when it comes to finding your special person, I know everyone has a list, and that list usually involves height requirements and looks, all the exterior stuff. But I'm telling you, if you're looking to have a sustainable marriage, you're going to need to add more things to that list. It needs to have more of a criteria. One of the criteria I added to my list was actually values. I needed to find someone who had the same values as me, and one of those values had to be around money. When I met my husband, I actually knew I was going to marry him the second day we went out. I know it might sound crazy, but we've been married for over 10 years now. And I knew from the second day I dated him, because of his values, I knew we were going to get married. I didn't share that with him, but I knew right away that he would be the man I would marry. Now, when you come up with your new list that includes your values, you might realize that you have let a lot of people slip underneath your radar because you were using an incomplete list. Don't do that. Put the things that really matter in the long term on your list. Now, one way I suggest you go about seeing if you guys have the same values when it comes to money is actually do a cheap date that's also creative. Take the date to a bookstore and say, you know what, I'm willing to buy you any book that you want. If the person is turned off by the idea of a cheap date and also turned off by the idea that you want them to read, get rid of them. They are not going to bring value to your life. 1, cheap does not mean boring, okay? And expensive does not mean exciting. When you only focus on dates where you have to spend a lot of money, that person you're with is more concerned with consumerism than they are about building wealth, okay? And if you're looking for long-term relationships, you have to be with someone who's going to build wealth, not just take money out your pocket. People have to bring something else to the table rather than just looks and spending time with you. You need a partner. A marriage is a partnership, not just love based on love. Love is going to get you through some times, but you're going to need other things outside of love that's going to help you get through the tough times. If they don't like to read too, I'm going to tell you, get rid of that person, because leaders are readers. I have not met one wealthy person who does not like to read. If you do not like to read, that is a sign that you're not mature enough to handle the big decisions when it comes to money. Learn to read and learn to teach the people you want to spend the most time with to be readers as well. If they're actually willing to read, that shows you that that person has aspirations. It also shows you that they have good intentions for their life. Now, when it comes to aspirations, don't worry about if the person you're with now doesn't have a lot of money. As long as they have ambition and aspirations followed by actions, that's a good person that you should be around. You do not have to get someone who's financially stable at the moment. But if you choose someone who's on their way to becoming financially stable, maybe they're too young at this point, maybe you both are young, you don't have to have a lot of money. But if you see this person has ambition and they're following the ambition with actions, this is a person you want to keep in your life, because they're going to help you build wealth and they're going to help be a good team member. This is teamwork, and marriage is a team. When it comes to someone who's just always talking about, yeah, I want to be better and I want to do all these things, and they have all these pie in the sky dreams, if they don't have any action behind it, that's just cheap talk. A lot of people fall for the cheap talk, and that's how they end up with problems later on. Just don't listen to someone's words. Look at their actions. It will tell you more about really what they're doing with their life and where they're going with their life. The third thing I would suggest, if you want to find the right person who's going to help you build wealth, rather than making you broke or even keeping you financially stuck, is to be patient. You might have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find the right person, but you have to be patient. The right person for you is out there if you have the right list of what you're looking for in the person that you're searching for. If you're being patient and you realize that you don't have to settle in terms of your values, in terms of what you want for your future. I'm not talking looks here. I'm not talking, height requirements here. Don't settle for your values because, like I said before, that's what's going to take you longer and keep your relationship stronger later on. And however, if it's taking longer than you want, I also don't want you to be afraid to build wealth on your own. Now that I've shared with you my reasons why you should avoid relationships that are detrimental to your financial future, and I've also told you why you should not be afraid to build wealth while you're waiting, it's only right that I show you a path laid by those who have built wealth by themselves and who are still doing it to this day. Check out this playlist where we share interviews that we've done with women who are single who have been able to build great wealth, and also some of the videos that Nadia and I have put together where we show you exactly how to invest for passive income.